Hi, I'm Alana. Welcome to another video. In today's video, I'll be doing a get ready with me for church. So, today I'm going to be talking about the formation of the subject in Lacanian psychoanalysis because that's what I've just written a presentation on. So, I'm going to be discussing two papers today by Lacan. The first is the mirror stage paper, the mirror stage and the formation of the I, and the other one is the logical time paper. I'll write them both in the description. So I'm going to start by talking about the mirror stage paper. So initially I misunderstood Lacan's mirror stage as a moment in which the infant becomes aware of its vulnerability of eventual decay. Like, I thought it was about how the infant looks in the mirror and then they see that they are vulnerable to decay, and they feel conflicted about that, but that is not what it's about. I thought it was about a kind of existential recognition, so that's wrong. Lacan is actually describing something almost opposite, a moment of identification with the image which comes to form the ego. In the mirror stage, which occurs roughly between 6 and 18 months, the infant recognizes its reflection and becomes captivated by its own image of itself as a unified, coordinated, and whole. Lacan describes this as a kind of jubilant assumption of the image, but crucially, this is not a straightforward recognition of the self. It is a misrecognition. The infant identifies with an image that appears stable and coherent, but even though its own lived experience of its body is still fragmented, uncoordinated, and dependent. And so the infant falls in love with the image of himself in the mirror, and when you look in the mirror, you see an image of yourself which is complete, and the gap between the lived experience and the visual image is central to Lacan's point here. So the infant does not simply discover itself in the mirror, it becomes attached to an external representation that does not fully correspond to its reality. So when the infant sees its reflection in the mirror, it seeks to master or control the image and thus falls in love with the ego. So that's basically the mirror stage paper, and the other one is the logical time paper. So in the logical time paper, Lacan is saying that you don't and you can't know who you are just by looking inside yourself. You know who you are based on your interactions with others in the world and how others react to you. So you know who you are by looking at others, imagining what others think of you, imagining what others imagine you think. So yourself is actually formed through the minds of others. And he also talks about the 3 times of subjectivity. So the first is the instant of the glance, the first time when you make eye contact with someone and you see how they are perceiving you. And then the second is the time for understanding. You think through what everyone else is thinking. And the third is the moment of concluding. You make the leap and act. This is where you decide what you think other people are thinking about you, and then you act based on who you believe yourself to be. So Lacan is essentially asserting that subjectivity is not private. The I emerges through other people, symbolic relations, timing, recognition, and anticipation. He even says the subject reaches truth through an anticipating assertion, meaning sometimes you become who you are by declaring it before you have absolute proof. You often act before full certainty, and strangely, the act itself helps produce the truth. So you figure out who you are not by introspection, but by reading other people's hesitation, desire, and recognition. Identity emerges through social time, and sometimes you must act before certainty is complete. So this reading is essentially about how the I is formed through other people. Thank you for watching this video. You're beautiful, you're perfect, I love you, God bless you, goodbye.